you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Because of restrictions on time, I will confine my comments to childcare. And the main thing I want to say is a thank you to the Chancellor for listening to the concerns raised by colleagues on all sides of the House about affordability. The Shadow Energy Secretary said we should judge this budget according to 3 tests, and I accept his challenge, and I will confine my remarks on childcare to the tests as he set them. First, does it show a proper understanding of what is really going on in this country? Well, not the most headline-grabbing element of the childcare announcement was the £500 million over the next 2 years to fund the free or correctly subsidised hours that applies to 3- and 4-year-olds currently. I know from nurseries in my own constituency, Ladybirds in Newbury, the Hungerford nursery, that it has been under-subsidised and they've been under serious financial pressure. The amount that they're getting is equivalent to a 30% increase per hour, and most importantly, it is the sum that the sector requested from the Treasury, and for that I think he's showing the right priorities. The Treasury have also understood that childcare costs are affecting women's participation in the labour market. They have climbed by 20% in the last 5 years. In my constituency, the cost of a 2-year-old's full-time place in nursery is £15,000. And last year, the Centre for Progressive Policy reported that half of all mums are struggling to access suitable childcare. Of them, half again said that they were prevented from taking on more hours at work. A third said that they were prevented from taking on a new job, or it was completely out of the question, or they'd had to reduce their hours. And 1 in 7 said that the cost of childcare had forced them out of the labour market altogether. So let's be clear, women's employment was being severely affected. And the second question the Shadow Energy Secretary asked is, are we showing the right priorities? Well, let's be clear on what this is. It is tantamount to universal free childcare from the end of the protected statutory maternity period into the start of school, and then with an extension of wraparound care. It's been called for in one form or another by the Fawcett Society, Pregnant Then Screwed, the think tank, Onward, the Women's Budget Group. I could go on. They seem to think it's the right priority. It helps the poorest by accelerating the payment of universal credit. It helps the mothers of older children with wraparound care. And most importantly, it puts women in a position where they don't have to say no to that promotion, to that job, to increasing their hours because of limitations in childcare. It is fundamental to ameliorating the stubborn inequalities that persist in relation to pay, promotional opportunities, pension saving and leadership in the workplace, and I respectfully invite the opposition to say why that's not the right priority. I haven't finished, finally, is it also good for long-term, to meeting the long-term challenges? Well, obviously it's good for growth, not just for matching short-term labour market challenges, but it enables businesses to harness expertise within the labour market. It gives them more chance to grow, and the Women's Budget Group has estimated that the lost hours that women spend in childcare has cost the economy £28 billion in lost economic output a year. So I would say very respectfully, again, it meets the third test of addressing the long-term challenge. I feel sorry for the opposition. I feel sorry for the Shadow Education team. They spent so much time making noise on childcare, saying it was going to be like, as the member for Stroud said, saying that it was going to be like the rebirth of the NHS. I have dug around to see exactly what meat on the bones that they had. The only thing I can find is the introduction of a breakfast club. If that is the best they can do, then I'm genuinely sorry for them, and I congratulate the government in such an important announcement in this year's budget.